Well, that's something. So, more about Ron Paul, Beta.
As I was saying, Ron Paul represents, and this was during what happened. I was saying Ron Paul represents less war and less government intervention in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically saying government needs to mind its own damn business. Gotta stop getting out of our business on top of that.
Yeah.
And when it comes to foreign policy, he's basically said it in the debates that we need to basically get our noses out of other nations' business.
Trillions of dollars!
Especially, if you just look at it, it's for Bush and for Obama, it's been just more war, more war, more war, more war.
I'm getting kind of sick of war, too. Kind of going with that one song. War! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing! Say it again. What? No one's gonna sing with me? I am sad now.
I'm telling you, for people that believe Mitt Romney is going to be the solution, because the Republican Party has been trying to prop up Mitt Romney now, you're not going to get anything out of Romney. He's just going to be the same shit that Obama and Bush are.
Yeah, I'm not liking Romney myself. And, who was that other guy? There was some other guy that was, like, crazy hyper-religious guy, and he had, like, fucking, you know, those campy home ads where he's walking, like, the big grassy fields. He's like, "Hi, I'm this person. Are you tired of gays in our military and blah 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 and lack of God in our government?" I don't even remember who the fuck his name is. I don't want to say Ron Paul. I think his name starts with an R. I know it's not Ron Paul. Cause he
I know the only Mormon candidate for the Republicans right now is John Huntsman.
No, it wasn't Huntsman. No, this guy wasn't Mormon either. He was a Christian, I think. But I just really hate this guy. It's like he comes off. The fact that he's just in his ad saying, you know, it's like, I'm going to get gays out of our military and whatnot. It's like, wow, you could not come off as a bigger bigot than you could possibly try to.
And gays in the military is not even an issue. That's just someone trying to bring forth old rhetoric that has absolutely no weight.
Yeah, and the guy lost points with me there immediately. He's like such a douchebag. Seriously, get with the fucking times already. I thought we got past, you know, bigotry and segregation of people, and for whatever reason they are different back in the, what was it, 60s, 70s, 50s. You know, when Martin Luther King, you know, started changing things. God, I can't remember my own fucking history. That's bad.
It's alright. School doesn't do a good job with history anyway.
Yeah. Well, it taught me that stuff. I just don't remember it now.
But speaking about getting with the times, though, it's rather interesting you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what's been happening is that the Republicans are slowly doing their whole primary thing. They've already done Iowa, which, through dubious means, if you've been on top of that one, Santorum and Romney were neck and neck at 25%, while Ron Paul was at 21%. Then New Hampshire happened, and despite it was like a CNN's someone bash or something like that, basically admitting that they don't want Ron Paul to even hit second place. Ron Paul gets a strong second with, like, I think it was 24%. It was Romney's state anyway, but Ron Paul got a strong second place, and now with that out of the way, Ron Paul is indeed a strong candidate, and they're just running the same rhetoric that Ron Paul can't do it, Ron Paul can't do it, and the polls have been showing Ron Paul can do it. And if the election system was actually fair and balanced, which, like I said, there was dubious shit with Iowa, then Ron Paul could easily become the Republican primary nomination. In fact, the only reason why he's even considered why he's even in the Republican Party is because of the way the two-party system works. You have to be in a party in order to have any weight going on.
Indeed.
he's not a Republican loyalist. He's not a party line idiot. He speaks for constitutionalism. All I have to do is just look up his voting record.
Yep, and given that Congress has no doubt shown that they want to completely ass-fuck the Constitution with a giant spiked metal rod with SOPA, PIPA, and the NDAA, yeah, I think someone like Ron Paul would probably be a good idea. But then again, could Ron Paul, could he actually fix this shit, or is Congress going to just constantly cock-block him?
Well, it was proven with Clinton that he had a Republican Congress, and they basically weren't too cooperative with Clinton. But on the same token, it does show that there is the other obstacle of Congress, and it's a matter of getting candidates in like actual representatives in Congress that will work with the people instead of just here vote me so I can lie to you.
Yeah, kind of makes you wonder about just how much we actually need a president if that's how it's going to be. It's like, hey, we can get the guy who literally is going to want to change the world and make everything a better place, but Congress is like, nah, fuck you. And nothing really gets done.
Yep. But that's the thing about politics is the fact that people want things to change. Well, there's a lot of people out there, and a lot of them preach the mantra that get on your congressman's case, and if that doesn't help, get to the voting booth. Get to the voting booth. Look up records on candidates and current Congress people. Just get on your shit.
I've always wondered what would happen if there wasn't a suitable candidate at all for anything, and people were just like, we don't want to vote for any of these people because they're not into our interests. They're not going to better us. They're just going to dick us over. And it's like, so what would happen if no one voted at all? Period.
They would just use false powers of arbitration and act like, because you guys aren't doing your thing, we're just gonna take your right away to vote and vote in your behalf, which is already proven with New Hampshire. Again, which you have to hear this one. This was actually when I saw an independent investigation.
So it's kind of again our indecision to vote, or our decision not to vote in certain scenarios means absolutely jack shit.
They'll just make up some shit and say, you know what, we'll just do it ourselves. We'll just do it ourselves then. And even today, it's still like that to an extent, because I actually saw an interesting video with this, where these guys actually went to New Hampshire and assumed themselves as the names of dead people in New Hampshire. And they were able to go into New Hampshire. They were able to go to New Hampshire voting booths, say, I am so and so. They actually did the research to make sure that they got the right district to vote in. They went to the proper district with the name that they were using, said, I am this and this, and they were just given ballots. They even said, wait, I need to get my ID first, because and then the people handling the New Hampshire vote for the Republican primaries. No, actually that time was Democratic. But this goes about the law in New Hampshire. Those people are able to impersonate themselves as dead people without having to show ID, and because the law in New Hampshire says that you don't need to show ID to vote. It doesn't mean that they need to show ID to vote. It's a matter of you have people voting as dead people. Because the answer is not to have more government intervention. More government intervention means you have to show your ID. The answer is fix the system so you can't have dead people voting, or people that aren't official residents of New Hampshire voting. And this goes with any other state.
Well.
So that's just a very small case of election fraud. I mean, it's already been on record that the voting machines used in New Hampshire are also very suspect as well.
Yeah. Let's not forget the three-ring circus that was when President Bush got elected. You know, that happened in Florida.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that was a doozy. Florida, showing that they are just the weirdest bunch of fucks ever this side of the country.
Well, you think that's bad in Iowa? Someone posing as anonymous, whether that person is from Anonymous or not, said that they were going to sabotage the Iowa election. Yeah, no, the Iowa vote for the Republican primary. I don't even think it was a few days later that they come out with Iowa. Yeah, it was Iowa. Iowa comes out with the announcement after the alleged hack threat, the alleged sabotage threat. They say, "Oh, because of this threat, we're going to take the final count, the final Republican primary count, to an undisclosed location for security reasons." Does that not sound suspect by any chance?
Well, yeah, if it's in an undisclosed location, how is anyone going to vote?
In fact, one person, and I saw this. It was an Infowars article actually.
Yeah.
Where this person had a piece of paper, and he was one of the people that did the tallies for the votes.
Yeah.
His piece of paper, he logged all the votes he counted. What he found in the official result contradicted the votes he counted for the very district he counted in.
Interesting.
It's not now. Of course, his discrepancy was between Santorum and Romney, but it's just further proof that there was shady dealings going on with the Republican primary in Iowa. And with the polls for the Republican primary in Iowa, and we're talking straw polls, not the official count that they did for the Iowa caucus.
Yeah.
Ron Paul was consistently first or second place. Santorum in straw polls was no more than about 15 to 17%. And then with the Iowa vote, the official count said Santorum's at 25%. Is that not a little suspicious that one's vote would jump suddenly from 17 to 25 so instantly? Especially for a guy that didn't do as much as he should have?
Very, very strange.
Thank you, Kitty.
That was me.
Oh, thank you, Chaz. Sorry, Chaz. Wait, that means Kitty is now Chaz.
Yeah! Wait, yes!